Did you know that some of the things you do right after waking up could be quietly damaging your brain day after day without you realizing it? It sounds extreme, but it's true. Certain morning habits that seem harmless, even healthy, are actually putting stress on your brain's most vital functions, accelerating memory decline, and increasing your risk of cognitive issues later in life. And here's the scary part. Brain decline rarely starts with memory loss. The early signs are far more subtle. You start feeling foggy. You lose motivation for things you used to love. Your focus slips, your energy dips, and suddenly, the world just feels harder to keep up with. These aren't just side effects of aging, they're warning signs. Neurologists now know that what you do in the first 60 minutes of your day plays a critical role in how your brain ages. Get those minutes wrong, and you may be silently speeding up your own cognitive decline. And the worst part? Most seniors do these brain-damaging habits every single day without ever realizing the long-term consequences. But don't worry. In this video, we're going to walk you through the most common morning mistakes harming your brain and what you should be doing instead. You'll learn how to protect your memory, boost clarity, and support long-term brain health naturally. Before we dive in, let us know where you're tuning in from. We read every comment and love seeing our amazing community all across the world. And don't forget to tap that subscribe button so you never miss another tip that could help you stay sharp, focused, and thriving well into your golden years. Now, here are the morning habits that might be doing more harm than good. 1. Skipping breakfast or eating the wrong one. This habit might seem harmless, even healthy. You wake up, you're not hungry, and you've heard that skipping breakfast might help with weight loss or intermittent fasting. So you sip some coffee and push through. But for older adults, skipping breakfast is one of the most damaging things you can do to your brain. And here's why. When you wake up, your brain is already running low on fuel. It's spent the entire night working, regulating your breathing, your heart rate, your hormones, and even organizing your memories. By morning, it's depleted. And if you don't eat, it stays in that drained, low-power state for hours. At first, you start feeling foggy. You forget where you put your keys. You reread the same sentence 5 times before it sinks in. You chalk it up to getting older. But the truth, it's your brain struggling to function without energy. Over time, this habit starves your brain, literally. Without nutrients, neurons slow down. Communication between brain cells weakens. Memory formation stalls, and studies show this sets the stage for cognitive decline, brain fog, and in more serious cases, dementia. What's worse, many seniors make it even harder on their brain by following up a skipped breakfast with a blood sugar bomb, like toast and jam, sugary cereal, flavored yogurt, or sweetened coffee. These foods cause a quick spike in glucose, followed by a brutal crash. And when your blood sugar crashes, so does your mental clarity. You feel tired, irritable, mentally slow. But it's not just a mood swing. It's metabolic stress that can slowly chip away at your brain health over time. In fact, neurologists now refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes because of the strong connection between insulin resistance and cognitive decline. And seniors are particularly vulnerable because your body's ability to process sugar naturally declines with age. That means every sugary breakfast you eat today hits harder than it did 20 years ago. And over time, that repeated stress adds up. So what should you eat instead? A brain-friendly breakfast starts with protein and healthy fats, the kind that provide steady, lasting energy without the crash. Think scrambled eggs with spinach, Greek yogurt with walnuts and blueberries, a slice of whole grain toast with avocado. These aren't just meals, they're protection. They fuel your neurons, lower inflammation, and help you stay sharp, not just for the day, but for the long run. And the best part? This isn't about some trendy diet or strict meal plan. It's about making one simple, powerful decision every morning to feed your brain instead of starving it. Because every day you skip breakfast, you're not just skipping a meal, you might be speeding up a decline you didn't even see coming. And if skipping breakfast silently starves your brain, the very next habit could be overstimulating it in all the wrong ways. It's something almost everyone does within seconds of waking up, and it might be training your brain to be more distracted, more anxious, and more forgetful over time. 2. Reaching for your phone. First thing in the morning. Every morning, millions of people wake up and do the exact same thing. Grab their phone from the nightstand before even getting out of bed. It's automatic, it's routine, and it feels harmless. But this simple act, repeated day after day, could be quietly reshaping the brain in ways that speed up cognitive decline, especially for older adults. When you wake up, your brain is in a delicate state. It transitions from deep sleep to wakefulness in stages. And this natural rhythm helps regulate your mood, memory, focus, and even your hormones throughout the day. The first 30 to 60 minutes after you wake up are like a window of opportunity. Your brain is setting the tone for everything that follows. But the moment you pick up your phone and flood your mind with notifications, headlines, and information overload, that calm transition gets hijacked. Your brain is instantly yanked from rest into stress, from peace to panic. And that kind of wake-up shock does more than make you feel overwhelmed. It activates your body's stress response system, raising cortisol levels, tightening your blood vessels, speeding up your heart rate. This isn't just about feeling anxious or irritated. Chronic morning stress can actually impair memory, reduce mental flexibility, and wear down parts of the brain responsible for decision-making and emotional control. Over time, this habit of starting your day in digital chaos can make your mind feel constantly cluttered, and that mental noise creates a perfect breeding ground for cognitive fatigue and decline. Now add this to the mix, the content you're consuming first thing in the morning. Social media, it's full of comparison, negativity, and drama. The news, often upsetting and emotionally charged. Emails, they pull your attention in 10 different directions before you've even had your coffee. All of this hijacks your brain's attention span before it's even had a chance to wake up properly. Your mind goes into reaction mode, and when you start your day reacting to the world, rather than being grounded in your own thoughts, it becomes harder to stay focused, calm, and clear-headed. What's even more concerning is that over time, this habit reshapes how your brain functions. Research shows that constant digital stimulation, especially first thing in the morning, reduces gray matter in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain involved in focus, empathy, and memory. And for seniors, that's a red flag. The brain naturally loses some volume with age, but unhealthy digital habits speed up that process. What seems like harmless scrolling could actually be accelerating the very cognitive changes that lead to memory problems and dementia. Let's not forget about blue light either. Most people assume it's only an issue at night, and it is. But blue light exposure in the morning from screens can still disrupt your natural circadian rhythm, especially if you're using your phone in a dark room. This can interfere with melatonin production later in the day, affecting your sleep quality at night. And poor sleep is one of the biggest contributors to long-term cognitive decline. So what should you do instead? Give your brain the gentle start it deserves. When you wake up, delay phone use for at least 30 minutes if you can. Even 15 minutes makes a difference. Use that time to hydrate, stretch, open the curtains, or step outside and feel the morning sun. Light exposure first thing in the morning helps reset your body clock, boost your mood, and improve brain function naturally. Even just sitting quietly for a few minutes and collecting your thoughts does more good than any amount of morning scrolling. Want something stimulating that actually supports your brain? Try journaling, doing a crossword, or reading a few pages of a physical book. These simple practices help your brain ease into the day without overstimulation. And they also promote something your brain desperately needs: focus. Here's the bottom line. Your brain doesn't want to wake up to chaos. It wants rhythm, calm, and clarity. Reaching for your phone right away might feel like a small act, but over time, it teaches your brain to expect distraction instead of presence. And that's not a habit you want if you're trying to age with a sharp memory and a strong mind. Your mornings shape your brain more than you know. So the next time your hand reaches for your phone before your feet hit the ground, pause, breathe, and remember, your brain deserves a better start. 3. Skipping water and starting the day dehydrated. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body hasn't had a single sip of water. Yet, through breathing, sweating, and natural bodily functions, you're constantly losing fluids, even as you rest. That means by the time you wake up, your body is already in a state of mild dehydration. And for older adults, this habit of not drinking water first thing in the morning can quietly do a number on both the brain and body. Why does this matter? Because water isn't just something your body uses to cool off or flush out waste. It's the very foundation of how your brain functions. Around 75% of your brain is made of water, and when hydration levels drop, even slightly, your brain literally begins to shrink in volume. That's not an exaggeration. Studies show that even mild dehydration can lead to brain tissue shrinking and reduced activity in areas responsible for memory, focus, and mood regulation. For seniors who may already be dealing with age-related cognitive changes, this is especially concerning. The aging brain is more sensitive to fluid imbalances. Just a 1 to 2% drop in hydration levels can cause noticeable symptoms: confusion, dizziness, irritability, brain fog, and even short-term memory problems. What many people write off as just aging is sometimes simply dehydration in disguise. What makes this worse is that the body's thirst signals weaken with age. So by the time you feel thirsty, you may already be significantly dehydrated. And unfortunately, many people start their mornings with coffee before anything else. While coffee itself isn't harmful in moderation, it's a diuretic, meaning it encourages your body to flush out even more fluids. So if you're already behind on hydration, A cup of coffee can quietly push you further into the red zone. The dangers don't stop at brain fog. Chronic morning dehydration can lead to long-term health problems that directly affect cognitive function. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and more viscous, making it harder for your heart to pump and deliver oxygen-rich blood to the brain. This poor circulation puts stress on the brain's delicate networks, and over time, this stress has been linked to higher risks of vascular dementia and stroke. Even your mood is affected. Studies have shown that dehydrated individuals tend to be more anxious, tired, and prone to low moods. Again, issues that are often blamed on aging, when in fact they might be fixed with something as simple as consistent hydration. So what's the better habit? Start your day by drinking at least 12 to 16 ounces of water before you do anything else. Keep it by your bedside if you can, so it becomes a natural part of your morning rhythm. If you find plain water boring, try adding lemon, cucumber, or a splash of unsweetened coconut water for extra minerals. This one simple change can make a noticeable difference in your clarity, energy, and long-term brain health. It's low effort, high impact, and often overlooked. Morning water isn't a luxury. It's a daily reset button for your brain. Drink up. 4. Sitting for too long. Right after waking up. The moment you wake up, your body has already spent hours in a state of rest. Your muscles have been still, your blood flow has slowed, and your joints have barely moved. Now imagine waking up and immediately heading to the couch, sitting at the kitchen table for an hour, or scrolling on your phone while still in bed. That's a lot of stillness for a body that's already been motionless all night. And for older adults, this extended sedentary start can quietly chip away at both physical and mental health. Let's break it down simply. As we age, circulation naturally slows. Arteries stiffen, muscles lose tone, and blood doesn't flow as efficiently, especially to the brain and extremities. When you stay seated or reclined for too long after waking, it keeps your blood pooling in the lower parts of your body. That means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reach the brain in those first crucial hours of the day. And when your brain is underfueled, everything suffers. Memory, concentration, balance, even mood. And that's just the beginning. Prolonged sitting, especially in the morning, can also contribute to insulin resistance. This is because movement, especially when it is the first thing you do when you wake, helps wake up your metabolism. It helps your body process blood sugar more efficiently. When you sit for too long, your muscles aren't being used, your glucose stays in the bloodstream longer, and over time, this contributes to higher blood sugar levels. And if that continues, you're on a fast track to metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and yes, an increased risk of dementia. There's even more. Staying physically inactive right after waking can disrupt your natural cortisol rhythm. Cortisol is often misunderstood as a stress hormone, but in healthy doses, it's actually essential. It helps you feel awake, alert, and ready to face the day. Your body naturally releases a burst of it in the morning if you give it the right signal. Movement tells your body, the day has begun. But when you stay sedentary, your cortisol rhythm becomes irregular, and that can lead to sluggish mornings, poor sleep cycles, and even worsening memory and focus over time. Then there's posture. When you go from lying down all night to sitting hunched over a phone or TV, you reinforce bad alignment habits. Poor posture, especially in seniors, can affect breathing, digestion, and spinal health. It may even cause tension headaches and neck pain, issues that silently drain your energy without you realizing the source. But here's the most sobering part. Sedentary behavior is independently linked to brain shrinkage. Research found that older adults who sat for longer periods, especially in the morning, had thinner regions of the brain responsible for memory formation. That means the very act of sitting still, when repeated daily, can actually change the physical structure of your brain. So, what's the better habit? Stand up, stretch, move. Even just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement after waking can work wonders. Try walking around the house, doing a few slow stretches, rolling your shoulders, or stepping outside to breathe in some fresh air. It doesn't need to be intense. You're not training for a marathon. You're simply reminding your body that it's alive and capable. If you're feeling a bit more energetic, go ahead and march in place, do some arm swings, or practice a few standing yoga poses. Movement boosts blood flow, supports lymphatic drainage, activates your brain, and sets a positive rhythm for the day ahead. The goal here isn't to turn your morning into a workout routine. The goal is to break the pattern of extended stillness, to let your body and brain know it's time to turn on. It's easy to overlook this habit, but when you realize how much early movement protects your brain, strengthens your heart, and regulates your metabolism, it becomes one of the most powerful habits to adopt. And best of all, it's free. No equipment, no gym, just you and your body doing what it was made to do. Move. Start small. Be consistent. And your body and brain will thank you for it, today and in the years to come. 5. Not getting enough natural light. As soon as you wake up, your body craves natural light. It's not just a preference, it's essential for your overall health, especially for your brain. If you wake up and spend the first few hours of your day inside, in dim lighting, or under artificial lights, you're setting yourself up for a day of brain fog, mood swings, and even long-term cognitive decline. Here's why it matters. Our bodies have an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. This rhythm controls when you feel awake and alert, and when you're ready for sleep. Light, especially sunlight, plays a crucial role in syncing this rhythm. When you're exposed to sunlight, it triggers the production of serotonin in your brain, a hormone that elevates your mood and sharpens your focus. It also regulates melatonin, the hormone responsible for helping you sleep at night. Without enough natural light, this balance gets thrown off, leaving you feeling sluggish, mentally foggy, and even depressed. In fact, research shows that lack of sunlight exposure, especially in the morning, is linked to increased rates of depression and anxiety, and can even exacerbate cognitive decline in seniors. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about your brain functioning optimally. When you miss out on that early burst of natural light, your brain struggles to adjust, leading to poor memory, a lack of focus, and a slower processing speed throughout the day. What makes this worse is that many people wake up and immediately start scrolling through their phones, checking emails, or going about their day in artificial lighting. It seems like no big deal, but this habit disrupts your circadian rhythm even further, leading to a vicious cycle of low energy and poor cognitive function. To truly benefit your brain and mental health, you should aim for at least 15 to 30 minutes of natural sunlight in the first hour of waking up. This doesn't mean you need to spend hours outside. Even a short walk, or just sitting near a window while enjoying your coffee, can do wonders. The important part is that you're allowing sunlight to flood your eyes, so your brain gets the signal to reset your circadian rhythm for the day ahead. If the weather conditions don't allow for outdoor light, try to be near a window where you can let natural light in. Even sitting near natural light indoors can be a huge benefit, as long as it's bright enough to stimulate the brain's natural response. By incorporating this simple habit into your morning routine, you'll notice a significant improvement in your mood, cognitive abilities, and overall sense of well-being throughout the day. Plus, over time, it can even help prevent cognitive decline as you age. 6. Poor sleep hygiene. Sleep plays a crucial role in maintaining overall brain health, and the quality of your sleep can greatly influence how well your brain functions. Unfortunately, many seniors fall into the trap of poor sleep habits that can contribute to cognitive decline over time. Poor sleep hygiene not only affects your mood, but also impairs memory, concentration, and the ability to think clearly. Without enough rest, your brain doesn't have the time it needs to recover and perform its vital processes. When you sleep, your brain is not idle. In fact, it's working hard to consolidate memories and clear away toxins that build up throughout the day. One such toxin is beta amyloid, a substance that accumulates in the brain and is closely linked to Alzheimer's disease. If sleep is disrupted or of poor quality, your brain doesn't have the opportunity to effectively clear these toxins, putting you at a higher risk for neurodegenerative diseases like dementia. Even one night of poor sleep can lead to a temporary dip in cognitive function, but over time, chronic poor sleep can have long-term effects on brain health. Unfortunately, sleep issues are all too common among seniors. Conditions like insomnia, sleep apnea, and restless leg syndrome can make it difficult to get the restorative sleep that your brain desperately needs. Sleep apnea, in particular, is especially dangerous because it interrupts breathing during sleep, leading to drops in oxygen levels in the brain. This can lead to a host of cognitive issues, including memory loss and difficulty concentrating. And because sleep apnea often goes undiagnosed, many people may not even be aware of how it's affecting their brain health. But the good news is that there are simple and effective ways to improve sleep hygiene, and with a few changes, you can protect your brain from the harmful effects of poor sleep. First and foremost, it's important to establish a regular sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Try to aim for at least 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Next, create a relaxing bedtime routine that signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. This might include activities like reading a book, taking a warm bath, or practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation. By reducing stress and promoting relaxation before bed, you can make it easier to fall into a deep, restful sleep. It's also crucial to limit screen time before bed. Ideally, you should stop using screens at least an hour before bedtime. If you must use your phone, consider enabling night mode, which reduces the blue light emission. Another helpful habit is to keep your sleep environment cool, quiet, and dark. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep, free from distractions. If you're sensitive to light, consider using blackout curtains or an eye mask to block out any external light. Keep your room at a comfortable temperature, typically between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Finally, pay attention to your diet and caffeine intake. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime, as these can interfere with your ability to fall asleep or stay asleep. Instead, opt for a light snack that includes tryptophan, such as turkey or a banana, which can promote relaxation and help you fall asleep more easily. Improving sleep hygiene may take time, but it's one of the best ways to protect your cognitive health and prevent mental decline as you age. So, prioritize your sleep and give your brain the chance to repair and rejuvenate every night. By making these small changes, you'll be investing in your brain health for the long haul. 7. Starting the day in complete silence and isolation. It might seem peaceful to wake up, sit in silence, and avoid stimulation, especially for those who live alone or prefer a calm morning. But over time, consistently starting your day without any mental or social engagement can quietly chip away at your cognitive resilience. The brain is like a muscle. It needs gentle stimulation to stay strong. When you begin each morning in total quiet, without engaging your senses, your thoughts, or even brief interactions, your brain gets the signal to power down. And if this becomes a daily routine, the mental fog that follows can become more than just a passing feeling. It can lead to long-term understimulation, a risk factor for cognitive decline and memory problems later in life. Studies have shown that social isolation and sensory deprivation, especially in the mornings when the brain is naturally most alert, can increase the risk of dementia by a significant percentage. This is because the brain thrives on variety, engagement, and new input. The less you give it, the faster it starts to shrink, literally. Areas of the brain responsible for memory, language, and decision-making can begin to atrophy without regular use. And it doesn't have to be dramatic. Just 5 to 10 minutes of stimulation in the morning can set the tone for a mentally active day. Listening to music, chatting with a friend, stretching while listening to a podcast, reading a page from a book, or even talking to yourself out loud while planning your day. All of these simple acts send your brain a message. I'm awake, I'm active, and I'm ready to think. Make a conscious effort to activate your brain early. That doesn't mean bombarding yourself with noise or chaos. It means giving your mind something to chew on. Speak, listen, read, sing, reflect, socialize, even briefly. These tiny morning sparks can ignite long-term protection for your memory and overall cognitive health. It's not about becoming a social butterfly. It's about avoiding mental stagnation. Because while silence can be golden, too much of it too often can quietly age your brain. 8. Waking up at inconsistent times every day. A chaotic sleep schedule isn't just a nuisance, it's a serious threat to long-term brain health. Waking up at different times each morning, even by an hour or two, can disrupt the natural circadian rhythm that helps regulate everything from memory formation to mood stability. And when this rhythm is thrown off balance regularly, your brain pays the price. Your circadian rhythm acts like your internal body clock. It controls your sleep-wake cycles, hormone release, and brain function, all of which play crucial roles in preventing cognitive decline. But when you wake up at 6:30 a.m. on weekdays, then sleep in till 9 a.m. on weekends, you create what scientists call social jet lag. This doesn't just make you feel groggy. It causes a genuine mismatch between your biological clock and your behavior. Studies have shown that chronic disruptions to circadian rhythm are linked to a higher risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Why? Because your brain relies on consistent patterns to function at its best. Erratic wake-up times confuse your brain, impair the glymphatic system, which clears waste from the brain during sleep, and reduce the quality of restorative deep sleep, the kind your brain desperately needs to stay sharp. Even worse, when your sleep patterns are irregular, you're more likely to experience inflammation, blood sugar imbalances, and elevated cortisol, all of which are strongly associated with memory loss and cognitive decline in older adults. The good news? This habit is one of the easiest to fix. Make it a goal to wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends or holidays. Yes, even if you went to bed late. Over time, this consistency strengthens your sleep quality, boosts morning energy, and creates a stable rhythm that protects your brain from age-related decline. If you struggle to fall asleep early enough to wake up consistently, try building a calming nighttime routine. Dim the lights, avoid screens an hour before bed, and do something relaxing like reading or light stretching. By setting your internal clock and sticking to it, you're doing more than just waking up refreshed. You're laying the neurological foundation for stronger memory, sharper thinking, and lower dementia risk in the years to come. 9. Waking up in a panic or stressful rush. Many people wake up and immediately dive into a flood of to-do lists, stressful thoughts, or anxiety-inducing news. They grab their phone, check their messages, worry about the day ahead, and jump into tasks without giving the mind time to ease into wakefulness. Over time, this daily jolt of stress, especially in the morning, can take a serious toll on the brain. Here's why. The brain is in a highly receptive state when you wake up. Cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, is already naturally elevated in the early morning as part of the body's natural rhythm. But when you add mental chaos or emotional panic on top of that, cortisol spikes even higher. Chronic exposure to these elevated stress hormones can damage the hippocampus, the region of the brain responsible for memory and learning, and one of the first areas affected in dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Studies show that high morning stress levels are strongly associated with reduced cognitive performance, weaker emotional regulation, and increased inflammation in the brain. And when this becomes a daily habit, it quietly wears down your mental resilience. Over time, you may find it harder to concentrate, remember simple things, or process information calmly, all warning signs of cognitive decline. What makes this habit particularly dangerous is that it's often invisible. Most people don't realize they're starting their day with a brain already under siege. So, what's the better habit? Protect your brain's calm in the morning. Create a gentle morning buffer, even 5 to 10 minutes, before engaging with external stressors. This could mean waking up without checking your phone right away, sitting quietly with your thoughts, doing light stretching, practicing deep breathing, or simply enjoying a cup of tea without multitasking. These small rituals send a powerful message to your nervous system. You're safe, you're grounded, and there's no need to panic. In doing so, You reduce cortisol spikes, preserve your hippocampus, and give your brain a far better chance at aging gracefully. Remember, the way you start your morning shapes the way your brain ages. And just like that, we've reached the end of today's video. Remember, your brain's long-term health is shaped by the little things you do each morning. These habits may seem small, even harmless, but over time, they can quietly increase your risk of dementia. Today, we explored simple, research-backed changes you can make right now to protect your memory, sharpen your focus, and support a healthy brain for years to come. If anything you heard today gave you a fresh perspective or made you think twice about your morning routine, drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. We read everyone, and we're always listening for what you want us to talk about next. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chance to learn something that could change your life. Until next time, take care of your brain, treat your mornings with intention, and we'll see you in the next video.